All right, looks like we are live. Welcome back, everyone. J-Bone here for Smash This Podcast. Wow, got some news tonight. Not going to be just one subject. We're going to cover a few different things tonight. Ronnie's already in the chat. Howdy. Good evening, Ronnie. Glad you could join us. Also shared the stream to some guys in a new Discord I just joined. We'll see if they pop in here. Oh, we've got some viewers. That number just jumped way up. All right. So we're going to talk about a few things. We're going to talk about Mean Gene and his passing away. In fact, we had a trifecta today, unfortunately. Won't talk about the other two so much, but it still sucks, you know. We're also going to talk about some news on the NWA collaborating with Ring of Honor for the Jim Crockett Cup. That was what I feel is, you know, some significant news. We also have some more speculation on what is to come with AEW. What's up, Agent? Glad you could join us. Good evening. And some rumored sources saying where AEW could end up maybe sooner rather than later. And also one confirmed signing that broke this afternoon. We'll talk about that. Britt Baker, aka Dr. Britt Baker, or Dentist Britt Baker, however you want to say it, aka Adam Cole's girlfriend. So we'll talk about that too. A lot of little things going on. I want to start out though by drinking anything tonight, raise it. We raise it up to good old Mean Gene. War Dog from over at the Discord. Welcome. Here's to you, Gene. Let's have we lit the honorary candle that I've been lighting whenever I do a little tribute to someone. Let's have a moment of silence for Gene, shall we? Thank you. Thanks, guys. Pouring one out for Mean Gene, absolutely. The best start to WCW back in the day with Flair. Hey, yeah, let's talk about Mean Gene a little bit. My love for professional wrestling goes way back. And I mean way back. Like first couple WrestleManias back. As much as you think about the golden era, you think about Randy Savage, you think about Andre, you think about Hogan, amongst so many other names. But you can't think about any of those names without thinking of all the famous interviews that they had, with one Mean Gene Okerlund. how many how many times, what's the first thing that pops in your head? Maybe not the voice of Mean Gene, but someone talking to Mean Gene. And I'm talking about Hulk Hogan. Well, let me tell you something, Mean Gene. How many interviews started like that, I want to. Hey, we got someone new in the chat, Charlie. Someone from over in the Discord I was just mentioning earlier. What is up? New sub earlier today. Thank you for the sub. The numbers went up today thanks to the support over in the Discord. We all gave each other a sub, I believe. It's pretty cool. Just supporting each other. Talking about the, all elite wrestling over there in that specific Discord. So, yeah, we're going to get to that a little later. We're going to get to that. Give me just a second because I don't want to misquote him. Adam Pearce had where is it? I had it. Here we go. Saw a few tributes today. This one kind of hit home because he's from the area. To Chicago, I mean, I'm from Milwaukee, but close enough. To Chicago kids of my generation, he was the voice. I'd cut promos in the living room like he was there with me, and sharing the air with him was a literal dream come true. I was no Bockwinkel, but he was still Mean Gene. Godspeed, sir. Thank you. Thank you for the soundtrack to my youth. And I retweeted that saying, soundtrack of my youth. Couldn't have said it better. Lots of people sending up tweets. Sharing their thoughts. The guy who added so much class to the world of wrestling. Mean Gene, and this is so significant, and I think it may be overlooked. Maybe one of the most overlooked things about Mean Gene. Mean Gene, no matter where he was, I believe he was started out in AWA, WWF, WCW, among wherever else he stepped foot in. I'd have to look that up. But I know those are accurate, the ones I listed. Mean Gene didn't change. Mean Gene was always Mean Gene. He didn't have to change his gimmick. He didn't have to spice things up for a new show. He didn't have to dumb it down for another show. Mean Gene did not change. And like I posted earlier today, always had more class than what you could fit in a squared circle. Spent a lot of time around this area the last few years, being very close to the likes of David Hero, who always brought him in for signings. I always felt bad, always wanted to go, and now I'm kicking myself. Oh, we got some new faces in the chat. That's great to see. Chat it up, guys. Glad you're here. Thank you. Was Mean Gene ever in TNA? I don't believe so. I don't believe so. I know I've missed a decent amount of TNA here and there over the years, but to my knowledge, no. I don't think he's, because I know a lot of people did like one-offs. I don't think he even did a one-off. Me and my wife played Smash Brothers until she left me. What? We'll tip one out for her too. And I know we got, like I said, I know we got some new faces watching. If you're digging the content, if you want to support the product, the brand, smash this podcast, by all means, give it a like, smash that sub button and ring that bell for notifications. Man, one of the most talk about Mean Gene still. One of the things that that stood out in memory was like the launch of who are all the newbies, J-Bone. A lot of these guys are from over at a All Elite Wrestling dedicated Discord. And a lot of these guys are fellow YouTubers. They may not be like full on YouTubers. Some of them are, some of them aren't. I'll let them say in the chat whether they are or not. I'll let them plug their stuff. I'm not going to be like that. You want to plug your stuff? Go ahead. I gave most, if not all of these guys subs earlier today, I believe. If I miss one, let me know. I'll check the chat later if I miss one. But I tried to make sure that we all, gave each other a sub. I thought that was the appropriate thing to do, That'd be cool. Because we're all, we're all very, should say, all in on the future of All Elite Wrestling. Very curious to see it. We'll get to more news on that in a bit. Thinking about Mean Gene just for a little more. The birth of the NWO will always. Did you give me a sub? No, you know what? I don't think I did, Ronnie. There you go. You got a sub. You sure as hell deserve one. You're on here all the time with me. There you go, Ronnie. Much love. Go ahead, War Dog. Send it again. I'll show it. If you folks are on Discord or you're curious about joining Discord, it's another social media. I wasn't going to because I need another social media, but I did. And this particular Discord is for the All Elite Wrestling. So if you want to support that, it's a fan account. Oh goodness. Excuse me. Cheers. And if you're tipping a cold one tonight, let me know what you're drinking. All you got to do, guys, is go to the right of wherever they're texting over here, click on it once, and a pop-up window will come up. The first one is go to channel, and it'll open up a second window if you click on it. That's all you got to do. Just giving you a little help there. All right. So, and by all means, if you're watching this live, great. If you're watching this after the fact, wonderful. let me know in the comments below if you're watching it After Effect, any specific memories of Gene you want to share. It's all about love for Gene today. We are going to miss him. I tweeted out earlier today, I said, I think the man upstairs needed some help keeping an eye on Bobby the Brain. So that's why he called up Mean Gene. Well, they're together now. They're together now. Mean Gene and Bobby back together again. Oh, man, it's funny. I'm just thinking of the memory. I believe it was during one of the, excuse me. I believe it was during a WrestleMania. And it was a segment where Mean Gene was with Bobby, and their clothes were all disheveled, you know, all like torn off or falling off. And I don't remember who was talking to them, but they were frantic. And they were like, we're trying to get away from, who are they trying to, oh, Moolah and Mae Young. Mae Young and Moolah, and they were trying to get away from them. And all of a sudden they came out of this closet and they were smooching them, and they pulled them back in the closet and closed the door, and the door was rattling, and they were like, oh no. For like later in the career of these two who were always together was one of the funniest moments. And I just thought it was so damn funny. It was like, oh my God. Oh, crazy. Uh-oh. Now what you do? Oh, okay. You guys are talking about the Discord. So yeah. I just wanted to talk about Mean Gene for a little bit. Share some memories. Yes, that's the YouTube channel. The 2 count. That's Charlie's. WrestleMania 20 or 21. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. That sounds about right. It goes back a bit, but yeah, I think that's right. Was that the Chicago or the Hollywood one? I forget. God, I don't have the network, so I can't go back and look. It's probably on YouTube somewhere. I'll probably get the network again someday, just no time soon. That's a discussion for another time, though. Oh, goodness. The emotions, the fluids. All right. So we miss you, Gene. Have a safe trip upstairs. What do we talk about next? Let's talk about... Is this it? Yeah, let's talk about this. This is courtesy of PW Insider. Excuse me. God, this type is small. My goodness. NWA partners with Ring of Honor to carry on the history of the Crockett Cup in North Carolina. I'm going to read some of this. You guys can go check out the article and read it all in its entirety. I'm not going to read all of it, but I'll read some of it. 33 years ago, Jim Crockett Promotions partnered with Mid-South Wrestling to present the first ever Jim Crockett Senior Memorial Cup in New Orleans, Louisiana. On April 27th, 2019, the National Wrestling Alliance, in association with the Crockett Foundation, will partner up with Ring of Honor Wrestling to bring the classic tag team tournament, the Crockett Cup, back to North Carolina in the Caribous Arena in Concord, North Carolina. Wow, I have not been to Concord in a long time. Had some friends of the family down there. We used to go down there. That's a lifetime ago, though. The NWA originally announced the return of the Crockett Cup in October at NWA 70. On that night, Nick Aldis defeated Cody Rhodes to regain the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. Skip line, skip that. The NWA is known for its legends who have carried a famous 10 pounds. Okay, that's... Okay, Jim Crockett Promotions built a foundation in the mid-Atlantic region with their tag team wrestling in the 70s and 80s. The Crockett Cup in 1986 brought together the best tag teams in the world under one roof. It's our honor partnering with Ring of Honor Wrestling to bring this tradition back to North Carolina, while supporting the Crockett Foundation with their philanthropy for veterans. Pretty damn cool. And it goes on to say what Ring of Honor is doing later this year with the G1 Supercard. I have absolutely no doubt that the NWA is going to end up in Madison Square Garden in April. No doubt whatsoever. They're not announcing anything yet. They're going to let that build for a couple months. They're going to build a storyline. But all this is going to defend that belt in Madison Square Garden. But that's another subject for another time. That's just speculation, but I think he's going to. The first qualifying match for the Crockett Cup takes place this coming Saturday at the NWA pop-up event in Clarksville, Tennessee. Ring of Honor will also present Honor Reigns Supreme in Concord, North Carolina on Sunday, January 13th, with the full night of action, including Jay Lethal defending the ROH Championship against former champion Dalton Castle in an event to be streamed live on the Honor Club. All right. So we got a date for the Crockett Cup. I don't know if this is going to be like the continuation of the Crockett Cup or if they're going to do like the whole Crockett Cup thing in late April. Because this has been a work in progress for the NWA as far as bringing that back. I'm pretty oh, you guys are loading up the chat. That's all right. Go nuts. I'll read it all later. They have like 3 decent wrestlers in the NWA. Well, they don't have a full roster. You know, they're taking baby steps is what they're doing. And they're also doing similar to what Impact Wrestling is doing. Is they take the name and they put it all over the place, all over the country, and they partner up with some smaller associations, little hotbeds of pro wrestling fans like, hey, this is how we're going to build the brand again. Let's put it all over the place, partner up with these smaller indies that are actually big in some areas. Like Tried and True Pro Wrestling is probably one of the bigger ones in the area wherever it is. That's this coming weekend. That's down in, where is it? The Carolinas, I believe. I forget. But anyways, you know, he's trying to be smart about it. He's being very conservative about, you know, he's not a billionaire backer like Tony Khan, you know. He's got to be smart about his funds. NWA and Impact should join forces. Hey, I think they have before. That goes way back. Early 2000s. Yeah. I'm sure a lot of people forget that the NWA Championship was the championship in TNA the first handful of years. And then the NWA departed from TNA. They had a falling out and whatever. That's history. Billy Corgan's very open to, you know, working with other people, which is great to see. He's not just building a brand and saying, screw the rest of you guys. You're not going to have a piece of this. What better way, what better way than to continue the legacy of the NWA, 10 pounds of gold, and the legacy of the company than to get everybody involved as much as possible? That's not a bad thing, guys. That's good business. And the NWA itself deserves that. This last year has been a rising up from the ashes of the NWA. And the 70th anniversary was a huge step for them. Huge step. It wasn't perfect, but it was good. It was good. They're recognizing more championships. You know, Willie Mack's got a championship. Jazz is the women's champion. Hell of a champion, too. You know, and now they're going to incorporate some tag teams. Be interesting to see who they all have from Ring of Honor represent that in the Crockett Cup. Tell you what, man, my first pick, them boys. Who's the NWA champ right now? Nick Aldis. TNA left NWA 07. Yeah, that could be. Dick Aldis. I like Nick Aldis. I give him a lot of credit for doing what he's doing. Taking that 10 pounds of gold and taking it around the world because it's a world championship. Not too many guys would be willing to do that. I give him a lot of credit. He's doing a good job of it too. In fact, the last two videos that dropped today, you should watch them. Good videos. TNA. Yeah. He may not have done so hot, but he wouldn't be where he was. He wouldn't be where he is today if he didn't learn everything he did in TNA back in the day. Say what you want about TNA when they were going through kind of a rough period over the course of the last decade, but it wasn't all bad. It was a stepping stone for a lot of people, you know. But yeah, there were some bad business dealings and some bad booking and whatnot. We won't get into that, but, you know, if you know the history, you know what I'm talking about. So, very, very curious to see, you know, what teams are all going to be involved. Like I said, my first pick is them boys, the Briscoes. Love the Briscoes. One of the hardest working tag teams in the industry today. And then you incorporate some some other hot indie tag teams to go along with the Ring of Honor tag teams. And you're probably going to see a lot of new faces over the course of the year associated with NWA and Ring of Honor. It's a rebuilding year. They lost a lot of people to AEW. But it also gives a lot of opportunities to young up-and-comers saying, hey, there's my chance. People holding that door for other people to come in. That's what it's all about. So let's get into talking about I don't know. We don't know anything about that yet, but we'll see. We don't know who's all going to be working with who. But there are a lot of people already working with each other over the course of the last year. That's building relationships and building, wrestling history, period. What's next here? Lots of stuff about AEW today. Some of it's still speculation. Some of it I wouldn't call news. It's just furthering the throwing a little more gasoline on the fire of some of the rumors going on. Or some of it's legit. Some of it's legit news that was broke this afternoon. We're going to talk about it all. This comes from Raja.com. This is not a site I'm very familiar with. But apparently they've got some significant stuff to be talked about here. And I'm not seeing any of this confirmed anywhere else. So I'm not quoting this as in, ooh, it's a done deal, folks. Because most of this nobody can even talk about yet. It's just furthering rumors. Let's get into this. Jim Ross, who was reportedly denied involvement with AEW, will be heavily involved, both on commentary and in a backstage capacity. Here's where we go. Yeah. Ross is not likely commenting on this situation because technically he's still under contract with the WWE for a few more months. How many times have I said it over the last few weeks? Of course they're not talking about it. If they talked about it, they'd be in a whole shit ton of trouble. Come on, people. You can ask Jim till you're blue in the face. He's just going to be like, JR and the WWE will not be renewing their contracts, so you can expect that once he is officially out, his involvement will be publicized. Now, this is new. This is interesting. I've not heard about this before. Sports agent Barry Bloom, who already represents many prolific talent in the industry, is involved from a recruitment perspective. According to our source, AEW will go hard at Make me a little uncomfortable saying that. They're going hard at WWE for stars whose deals will be expiring, and they will be mixing in legends. That's kind of interesting as well. One name, I did not see this coming. One name that is being brought up is Goldberg, who I believe is already a client of Bloom's. Chris Jericho, who has been rumored connected to the promotion, going to be involved in depth as well, as per our source. There are other WWE employees, contractors, note this does not necessarily mean wrestlers, who AEW is going to pursue aggressively when they are legally able to. Okay, this is also interesting. This is what was one of the last things talked about in that Discord that's been talked about in the chat. It was previously rumored that AEW is working on a national TV deal. As per our source, Khan is indeed using his connections to work on a prospective TV deal, and one of the networks, that they're negotiating with is Time Warner Cable, who have dear God, cut them off, to have AEW air on TNT/TBS. Wow. That's some classic names there. Who was on those channels back in the day? All of Bret Hart. While Cody and the Bucks have been announced as EVPs of All Elite Wrestling, we are told that they will focus mainly on wrestling and not necessarily in the creative aspect of the promotion. Okay, so your thoughts on some of these new things here. We'll get into Britt Baker in a second. Did not expect to see Goldberg listed. If you know me, a bunch of you don't know me because you're new to the channel, and that's okay. But I'll remind you, if you've been here before, I love Goldberg, okay? I got back into wrestling when Goldberg and the WCW and NWO were hot. I mean, white hot. I mean, kicking WWF hot. Love that stuff. The NWO, Goldberg, Ravens Flock, Four Horsemen, Cruiserweights. Loved it all. Yeah, there was a lot of goofy stuff that happened in WCW, but I'm talking about the stuff that was on fire, the legit great stuff. The flame's almost going out. WCW chants. The name of the show is Tuesday Night Dynamite. Nitro Dynamite. Yeah. They do have that trademarked. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure, this, look, and this is my speculation. They may very well be talking with them, and that's fine. But here's my speculation. Build the brand. Over the course of 2019, build the brand. Have another event. Obviously, you could say it's from a company now, not just a bunch of guys trying to half-ass put it together like All In was. And I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying, yeah, they had a lot of help from these guys and this company and these guys, and production-wise, they had a little help from, I'm sure, some guys in Impact and Ring of Honor, because the head guys were there walking around. I ran into them, met them. So they had a little hand in All In. And we're recruiting at the same time, as we already know this. So, and speaking of recruiting, let's jump into that news. This went This went live just before I went and had dinner. This is courtesy of F4. Yeah. Belter. Because I can talk. Britt Baker has signed with All Elite Wrestling. And I looked her name up on Twitter just for shits and giggles, because you see conversations, not saying going to her page. I'm talking about people talking about Britt Baker in conversations on Twitter. Someone a day ago, was claiming that she and Chelsea Green had both signed with NXT. Well, you got half that right. But in their defense, how many people over the course of this last year, before her debut in Impact Wrestling, were saying that Tessa Blanchard is going to end up in NXT? I don't think there was anybody denying that. How many times did she show up, have matches? She was part of the Mae Young Classic. I think it was a gimme. Then all of a sudden in April or May or whenever it was, she shows up at, was it Redemption? I think it was Redemption. And boom. Shocked the world. Where everybody was just days before claiming, yep, she will be walking into that performance center any day now. Any day now. Any day now. Nope. Nope. Didn't happen. Goes on to say, Dave Meltzer has confirmed that Britt Baker, 27 years old, has signed with AEW. In the last year, she has worked for promotions such as Stardom, Rise, Shimmer, and Ring of Honor. She is also an alternate for the Mae Young Classic and worked an NXT taping recently. She also was part of the All In event in September, where she competed in a fatal four-way that also had Tessa Blanchard, who won the match, Madison Rayne, who is now signed with Ring of Honor, and Chelsea Green, who has signed with the WWE. Isn't that interesting? All four girls, 4 different companies. Think about that for a second. Wow. Where wrestling has come over the course of the last just few months since All In. All 4 of them are signed now. Tessa was signed before that, but I'm just saying. Baker's signing comes as AEW is continuing to take formative steps in establishing itself as a new promotion. It is already known that Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks will have executive vice president roles within the organization. We talked about that last night. Meltzer is also reporting that Brandy Rhodes will be a key person when it comes to the women. Dana Massey, who is key to the Young Bucks merchandise business, will also be key in the merchandise for AEW. Hey. Talk about the women having spots in the company. Nice. Rhodes, Brandy, and the Bucks and Massey recently posed together for a photo, signing their contracts with the promotion. One of the Young Bucks tweeted that picture out earlier today, joking about how they were free agents for exactly 12 hours. Let's catch up with the chat a little here. Hey, Patrick. I don't want to screw up your last name. Patrick is in the chat. Welcome. That name is not familiar. Rest in peace, Mean Gene Okerlund. Yes. Rest in peace, Shirley. We did talk about that earlier in the show. If you're just coming in, we talked about that right at the beginning. We talked about him. She's my favorite women's wrestler. She had some issues with her ex. Oh, you're talking about Tessa. Okay. And her attitude was bad. Yeah, I think I've heard that too. Who are the other two wrestlers that died today? I don't think two other wrestlers died today. The two other people, there was, the guy that played Super Dave Osborne. Comedian, 76, same age, and also captain of Captain and Tennille, the pop group back in the 60s and 70s. I'm familiar with a lot of their music because I'm an old fart. And I'm sure a lot of you young bucks have no clue who Captain and Tennille is, but you can YouTube it. Go check that out. You may, they get their music played a lot in commercials and stuff here and there. But that's about the only place, unless you listen to a classic pop station. We'll kill that. Oh, bad term. I didn't mean to say that. All right. That was just about anyways. A lot of puddling going on in there. So yeah, that was the three that passed away today. Super Dave Osborne, captain of Captain and Tennille, and Mean Gene. All 76 years old. Interesting. So yeah, thank you all for joining. That's going to be pretty much it, unless there's any topics you guys want to quick throw at me before we get out of here. I'll crack another one real quick. So yeah, interesting news. We said goodbye to Mean Gene. And Britt Baker got signed, along with some interesting rumors about Time Warner, TNT, and TBS might be in the running for some AEW television. And with other names like Goldberg being brought up. I mean, we know about Jim Ross, the rumor of Jim Ross and Chris Jericho. And I'm not real familiar with the name of Barry Bloom, but apparently he's helps out with a lot of talent. Wow. Smoke in the eyes. It's worse than cutting onions. Is Ring Warriors no longer on TV? No, they are not on TV. I've been meaning to do an update on them. So you know what? I'll just do it here. I got an email from a certain somebody in Ring Warriors. I've had emails going back and forth with someone from Ring Warriors, and he didn't give me anything specific, but he said they're working on setting up dates to tape in another month or so, and hoping to be back on TV soon after that. Kind of doing a 13-week thing at a time, kind of like how they did at the end of this past year. They did about a dozen or so, give or take a little, episodes. And they're also because they just debuted on Amazon Prime. In fact, I still have to watch the last episode. It's the only episode on there is the one that debuted on Christmas. It's the season finale, the one where Killer Cross becomes champ. And if you didn't know he was champ, just look at his social media. He's on there with the Ring Warriors Championship. So there you go. I didn't spoil it. He did. So other people did too. They take pictures. They post them, from the event. But yeah, very excited about that. But I don't know about anything else. I believe it was a fatal four-way. Cobb, Eli Drake, Luke Hawks, and Killer Cross. I believe were the four in the fatal four-way, but I can't wait to see that. That's on Amazon Prime. They are looking to either A, return to WGN, or B, find a better TV deal. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I like where they were at. It was fine with me. I DVR it and I watch it whenever. I ain't getting up at 7 a.m. to watch it live. But so yeah, that's the update going on with Ring Warriors. It's not on regular cable TV right now. They're in the process of kind of setting up the next tapings / possibly finding another, possibly better TV deal. That's the update. And I'm digging the brand. When it started, I was kind of like, I don't know about this. But I try my best to be patient. And it's not easy sometimes being a patient wrestling fan. Everyone wants their shit nowadays 5 minutes ago. And it's like, damn, you got to be a little patient in the world of wrestling. You can't get everything 5 minutes ago. Sure. Tony Storm. Yeah, we can talk about that for a second. #1 trend on Twitter. Wow. She has certainly got the support in. Is it true Austin Aries has ownership in Ring Warriors? You know what? I didn't ask him that. And him, I mean my source. I know that sounds really corny, but I don't, I'll look into it. That's kind of one thing I've wondered too. Is Austin Aries just playing a part? And you don't see stuff like that much. I can't remember the last time you saw someone on TV claiming to be part owner of a company and barely have yeah, he's a presence. He's for lack of better words, you could say he's almost like a GM type role without saying GM. Okay. Charlie hates Austin Aries. So damn talented, but he pulled some. Calling him a douche. Pulled some heel ass shit on your YouTube channel. What did he do? Is the owner does he play one on TV? I don't know. Charlie, what did he do? Did you have him on or something? Commissioner. That's another word. But yeah, I'll look into more. I'll look into that more because I don't know what he's worth. I'm sure he's worth a decent chunk of change after working in WWE for a bit, but after Bound for Glory and the shit he pulled on. Oh yeah. He snapshot. Oh, one of those things. Oh, the whole hate on Austin Aries thing he's been doing the last month. Okay, you were one of his victims. Damn, that's kind of funny. Is it on your two cents? I apologize, I don't remember the name of it. Is it on that channel I just subbed? If it is, I want to check that out. Yeah, I mean, he is one of my favorites as far as talent wise. I kind of considered him up there as far as talent wise with CM Punk. I kind of thought of them as like neck and neck as far as being tied. Very similar, cocky yet talented. But yeah, after what he pulled at, I almost said Homecoming. BFG, Impact Wrestling's Bound for Glory. Yeah. Yeah, I was upset about that too. And that was one of those things that everybody and anyone was talking about. But it faded quick. You know, they weren't talking about it very long. But yeah, there's still people curious about what is going on with him. Is he going to show up again? Apparently, he was at the next tapings talking to people. He just wasn't used on TV, so I don't know. He's going to be in Milwaukee this weekend, apparently, working for Zelo Wrestling. I had wanted to go to that one, but it's not in the budget now. The greatest douche that ever lived. That's too funny. Yeah, we'll talk about Toni Storm. And I try not to talk about this too much when it comes up, because I certainly don't want to give any positive shine to the people that share this BS. But Toni Storm was a victim of somebody. Now, and I love how some people say the photos were leaked. No, the photos were not leaked. Someone took them. That's not leaked. Took them and shared them. Leaked means she did it. She did not do it. I have not seen these pictures. I have no desire to see these pictures, so do not share them with me. I've had other people share other pictures with me, and it upsets me because I think that stuff happening in the wrestling industry is trash. I don't blame Toni Storm for dumping her social medias one bit. Yes, I understand that can be upsetting for a fan. We want to stay in tune with what our favorite professional wrestlers are doing in the world, where they're going to be. But think about your identity being stolen, your stuff being raided. I'd be upset too. I don't blame her. But, you know, she has an outpouring of love from the professional wrestling community, fans and workers alike. I don't know what the hashtag is. Stand with Tony, whatever. Incredible women's talent. I have not watched any of her stuff recently, but leading up to the whole NXT UK thing, I know she's been killing it. So, and she will continue to kill it, and probably tripled her fan base. We can't guess what in numbers because there's no numbers to look at in social media. But there's a lot of love for her. I ask of you this one thing. If you love and respect what the women are doing in professional wrestling, stay away from the stuff that gets spread out there. Let's be better fans of professional wrestling. Okay? You want to go look at a Playboy or something, go look at a Playboy, whatever. But if you love professional wrestling like I do, leave that stuff alone. There's no need for that stuff to be out. I don't care who is taking what pictures of themselves and sharing them intimately with friends, significant others, whatever. That's none of our damn business. Let's be better fans. And I'm going to close with that. Just reading Charlie's last statement there. As a father, anyone doing that to my little girl, yeah. With your Louisville, I know what that is. I own one. Louisville Slugger. Oh, yeah, man. Hell yeah. Austin Aries told you to F off one time. I would hold that in honor. That's pretty damn funny. All right. Thanks again, everyone joining. Old fans and new fans. Much appreciated. If you're digging this stuff, smash that like button, smash that sub button, and ring that bell for notifications. Tomorrow night, Impact Wrestling's last night on Pop TV. We'll be doing some predictions after it goes off the air. We'll talk about the episode because I hear there's actually some really significantly cool things going on that Go Home episode before Homecoming this Sunday. I certainly will be watching. For those of you who listen to stuff on iTunes, if you missed tomorrow night's show, Smash This Podcast is debuting on Wrestle Addict Radio's iTunes. And I'll be sharing that too as well throughout the weekend. And when it goes live on Sunday right before Homecoming. So if you want to listen to the predictions last minute before the pay-per-view. What else? In the description below, selling teas. And baby, you know it's cold outside. Wink, wink. It's cold outside. Get yourself some sweatshirt merch. Smash This Podcast is selling the merch down below. And also, if you want a free, and I don't know about you, but after all that spending at Christmas, I want some free stuff. Get yourself a free month of powerslam.tv. Use the code below down in the description. Smash This Free is the code. Go get yourself a free month. We will be reviewing stuff from Smash. Bleh. We will take a breath. We will be reviewing stuff from powerslam.tv soon. Gonna be picking and choosing some stuff that gets on there over the course of the next few weeks. Hopefully the new AAW one, because I'm really looking forward to that. All the stuff I'm seeing pop up on YouTube, I'm dying to see the rest of it. That's hot out of Chi-Town, not too far from here. So yeah, look for that coming soon. And what else is going on? That's it. We will stay on top of the AEW news. So I hope you guys consider me a source. I appreciate it. I will get on here as much as I can to talk about breaking news or hot news or whatever. Charlie says, I love free. Of course you do. So, yeah, there's a ton of stuff on there. Go check it out. It certainly would be worth it. So, I'll be reviewing stuff on there very soon. Keep an eye out for that. Something hot, new, and fresh from Smash This Podcast in 2019. So, rest in peace, Gene. Thank you all for joining. Smash that sub button, like button, and such. And we'll see you guys late tomorrow night. Much love. Good night all.